Okay, so I wanted to just give you a few additional instructions for this assignment on drugs and how they affect our consciousness. In the written instructions and in the update, it says something along the lines of this assignment is to be done using the internet and or your book. There's a lot of this information you will find in the chapter in your book, but you're probably gonna have to go beyond that. So you're gonna be just doing some general internet searches, looking things up. So let me preface that by saying the answers are gonna vary from student to student with how you fill out these charts about these different drugs. However, there should be, while there will be varying answers and things might not be exactly the same from one classmate to the next, there is still some general basic information that I'm looking for as I go through it. So hopefully you'll get the basics for each of these. That being said, I'm also not necessarily looking for 100% accuracy. I am looking for 100% completion, meaning that I hope that I'm expecting that you will put something in each of these boxes. All right, so let's get to these boxes and just kind of go over what the expectation is. So if I scroll here, you'll see I just have 4 charts that I've built. And each of these charts is separated by different drug categories. And each of the charts is set up the same way, except that each one is for different drugs, right? So we'll just go through and do some examples on this first one here. So if you look here, this first chart that we're going to cover, if my pencil will work. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So this first chart that we're going to cover here, we're just going to look at this. And then they all will be filled out the same way. This one is going to be covering nicotine, cocaine, and amphetamines. And then as you look down in the other charts, you'll see marijuana, LSD. So what I've done is I've categorized all 3 of these drugs, nicotine, cocaine, and amphetamines. They fall under one drug category. So you're going to have to look it up and find out. And then you're going to write which category it is here. So we're going to be looking at there are amphetamines, there are depressants, there are hallucinogens, and so on and so forth. So you're going to have to figure out which category do these 3 drugs fall under, and that's what goes in that first box. The second box, general symptoms. This is where you're just going to be writing down some general effects that the drug has. So not necessarily nicotine, cocaine, and amphetamines individually, but just generally speaking, this whole category of drugs, what are some effects that these types of drugs have on people? What symptoms do you have whenever you use these drugs? Then this section right here is going to be where you're going to write in specifics. So generally speaking, these types of drugs, depressants or whatever they may be, cause these general symptoms. Specifically, nicotine now causes this. If you use nicotine, this is one of the side effects. If you use nicotine, this is one of the specific dangers. That may be different for cocaine. If you use cocaine, this is a dangerous side effect. This is something that can be caused specifically by cocaine usage, and so on and so forth. You would do the same thing for using amphetamines. So you'll do that for generic categories, general symptoms, and then specific things too. In this case, it would be marijuana, LSD, so on and so forth. So you'll do that for all 4 charts. This part over here, the last part, you're just simply going to be filling in either low, mid, or high. So that's what I put here. You're going to try to do some research and find out what type of physical dependence does each of these specific drugs, in this case nicotine, what kind of physical dependence does it create? I will tell you right now that you should probably find information that says it has a high physical dependence. Then you're going to look up and see what type of psychological dependence does it have. And then addiction, you're going to be learning, is a little bit different. So you're going to do some research on how addictive is nicotine. Is it lowly? Is it have a low addiction rate, middle of the range, or a very high addiction rate? So that's all you're writing in over here: mid, low, high, for all of these boxes on the ends. Maybe this is high, and this is low, and this is low. I don't know. That's all you're filling in over there. Okay, I don't know if that was more confusing or less confusing, but if you have additional questions, just shoot me an email, and good luck. Do your best trying to research a little bit on your own about all these different categories of drugs. Good luck.